The distress beacon pulsed weakly through the void, a desperate cry from the crippled mining station orbiting the frozen moon of Kelrath 7. Inside the station's cramped command center, Elsa worked frantically at the communications array, her fingers dancing across holographic interfaces while sparks showered from damaged circuits overhead. Come on, she muttered, rerouting power from life support to boost the signal's range. The station shuddered as another micrometeor punched through the weakened hull plating. They had maybe 3 hours before the entire structure decompressed. Zia floated through the doorway, magnetic boots disengaged to conserve power. His dark eyes assessed the situation with the calm of someone who had survived worse. Any response? Yes, but... Elsa's voice faltered as she read the incoming transmission. You're not going to like it. The view screen flickered to life, revealing 3 Xyrillian traders lounging in the ornate bridge of their merchant vessel. Their crystalline exoskeletons refracted the ship's bioluminescent lighting, creating an almost ethereal effect. The lead trader, whose nameplate identified him as Trademaster Vexthor, chittered with what the translator interpreted as amusement. Deathworlders, Vexthor said, the word dripping with disdain. Your distress call has been noted and logged with the Galactic Commerce Authority. We wish you fortune in your predicament. The other Xyrillians joined his laughter, a sound like wind chimes in a hurricane. Wait! Elsa leaned toward the camera. We have 17 people here, including children. Our life support is failing. Please, we need? Vexthor interrupted, his compound eyes glittering. What you need is to have stayed on your violent little world. The galaxy is a dangerous place for species that evolved in gravity wells and radiation-soaked atmospheres. Perhaps this will teach your kind humility. The transmission cut off. Zia's jaw clenched. 17 years since first contact, and they still see us as barbarians. Let them think what they want, Elsa said, her voice hardening as she switched frequencies. Because I just bounced our SOS off every relay between here and the Sol system. If there's a human ship within 50 light-years, they heard us. 20 minutes later, the communications array came alive with a new signal, not the elegant, bandwidth-efficient transmissions favored by the galactic community, but a brute-force broadcast that overrode every channel simultaneously. This is Commander Sarah Chen of the UHSV Indomitable to Mining Station Kelrath 7. We received your distress call. Hold position. ETA 42 minutes. Elsa and Zia exchanged glances. 42 minutes. The nearest registered human vessel in the sector database was 3 days away. How? Zia whispered. The answer became clear as the first ships began dropping out of faster-than-light travel. Not one ship, not 2. 17 vessels materialized in formation around the dying station, destroyers, frigates, and one massive carrier that dwarfed the Xyrillian merchant ship still lingering in the area. The Indomitable had been conducting deep space exercises 2 systems away when the call came through. Commander Chen hadn't asked for permission. She hadn't filed flight plans or consulted with the Galactic Transit Authority. She had simply calculated the fastest possible route, pushed her fleet's FTL drives beyond recommended parameters, and jumped. Trademaster Vexthor's ship attempted to leave the area, but found itself bracketed by 2 human destroyers. A new transmission forced its way onto his bridge. Xyrillian vessel, this is Commander Chen. You will remain in position and provide detailed sensor logs of this incident. Your refusal to render aid to sapient beings in distress violates Article 7 of the Galactic Accord. The humans were not in mortal danger, Vexthor stammered. They had 3 hours, Chen's voice cut through like a blade. 3 hours until 17 people died. You had the capacity to help, and you mocked them instead. Within minutes, human rescue teams were swarming through the station. They moved with the practiced efficiency of a species that had spent millennia fighting hostile environments. Where other species required environmental suits and careful acclimation, humans simply sealed their helmets and got to work. They welded hull breaches with portable plasma torches, rerouted power systems with casual disregard for electrical hazards that would kill most galactic species, and carried injured miners through sections of the station that gravity had turned into death traps. Elsa watched through the command center viewport as a human engineer, impossibly young, barely out of training, spacewalked across the station's exterior without a safety tether, carrying a replacement atmospheric processor that weighed more than she did. Deathworlders, Zia said softly, but this time there was pride in his voice. By the time Commander Chen arrived at the command center, The station's hull integrity had been restored to 70%, and life support was stabilizing. She was a compact woman whose calm eyes had seen combat on 3 different alien worlds. She gave Elsa and Zia a brief nod. "Everyone safe?" "Thanks to you," Elsa replied. "But you violated about a dozen transit regulations getting here. The Council can file their complaints," Chen said. "In triplicate. With notarized translations? While they're doing that, I'll be getting your people home." She glanced at the viewport where the Xerillian ship sat surrounded by human warships. "As for our crystalline friends out there, they're about to learn something about humanity." "What's that?" Zia asked. Chen's smile was cold. "We remember. Every species that helps us, we remember. Every species that refuses, mocks, or obstructs rescue operations." She tapped her datapad, officially logging the Xerillian vessel's actions. "We remember that too, and we have very long memories." The rescue fleet departed 8 hours later, the mining station's crew safely aboard the carrier. As they jumped to FTL, Elsa watched the Xerillian ship on the rear display, still held in place pending investigation. The galaxy had called them Deathworlders as an insult, a reminder that humans came from a planet that killed the weak and forged the strong. But humanity had embraced the name, turned it into a promise. No matter how dangerous the galaxy became, no matter how hostile the universe proved to be, humans would face it head-on. And more importantly, they would answer when their own called for help. Always.